Hey guys, how's it going? It's Trieyx here, back with a Genshin Impact video. So in today's video, I kinda want to talk about why there is no controller support on Android, as well as why there's no 120 FPS option for PCs, PS5, PS4, and Android as well. So Android controller support as well as 120 FPS options for PC, stuff like that. Those are the two very highly sought after quality of life updates that people have been wanting for a long time now. But yeah, if you guys didn't know, only iPhones and iPad, or any Apple products in general, only those platforms have that option for controller support, as well as the 120 FPS option. So you guys probably like, that's unfair, like why does iPhones and iPad have the two most sought after quality of life updates? Also, isn't it interesting that iPhones and iPads have those two options, whereas no other platforms have that option? Like, isn't that kind of strange to you guys? So you guys are probably wondering, why is that? Like, why does iPhone get all the good stuff, whereas the other platforms kind of get the scraps? And the reason why the iPhone has all that good stuff is most likely because of an exclusivity deal. So if you guys don't know what that is, let me give you an example. So you guys know how the PlayStation sometimes get exclusive titles that are not on Xbox or PCs. Like for example, we have Spider-Man, which technically Sony owns Spider-Man, so that's why it's exclusive. But yeah, a better example is Final Fantasy VII. So if you guys didn't know, when Final Fantasy VII first came out, it was only exclusive on the PlayStation, and about after like a year or so after the game has been released, it was finally added on PC via, I think, the Epic Games Store as well as Steam. I'm not sure which platform it's on. I think it's on both of them, but yeah, I'm also not sure if it's actually out yet on one of those platforms. I'm pretty sure it's on Epic Games Store, and I think it's coming to Steam, but I have no idea. All I know is that Final Fantasy VII is coming out on the PC, and the reason why Final Fantasy VII was on the PlayStation when it first released and not on any other platform was because they signed an exclusivity deal with Sony where Final Fantasy VII has to be exclusive on the PlayStation for a certain amount of months or year or whatever before it can be released on any other platforms. So it's kind of the same thing with Genshin Impact and the controller support on Android, as well as the 120 FPS option for other platforms. Apple most likely reached out to MiHoYo, or the other way around, I'm not sure. I'm most likely sure it's probably Apple, but yeah, Apple probably reached out to MiHoYo and was like, hey, we know that this game is really popular and is making a lot of money on our platform, and to try to keep that train going so we can make more money, we'd like to sign a exclusivity deal with you guys where only iPhones can get controller support and a 120 FPS option for a certain amount of years. And MiHoYo being a company, like obviously companies love making money, they definitely signed that deal. Who knows how much money they made off of that deal? It could be like $100 million, like we have no idea. In terms of the deal itself, we don't know how long it's gonna be. It could be 1 or 2 years for controller support and 120 FPS to be exclusive on the iPhone, or the crazy thing is it could be permanent. We have no idea. Controller support and 120 FPS could be exclusive on the iPhone forever and not on any other platform. And if that's true, that's kind of insane. I don't think the 120 FPS option will be permanently exclusive on iPhones. I think it'd be kind of dumb that it did make it exclusive to iPhones only, but when it comes to controller supports on iPhone, that could be permanent. And when it comes to Apple and iPhones, their main competitor are Android phones. For the most part, iPhones can't really compare to PC and stuff like that. Like, that's not their main competition. Their main competition is another phone. So yeah, I would not be shocked if controller support exclusive on the iPhone only permanently. Like, you guys are probably like, man, that's kind of a scumbag move by Apple to make it so only they get all the good stuff or nobody else get anything. And some of you guys might be out there who are like, that will never work. Having those options be exclusive to iPhones won't get people to switch over to iPhones. And it might sound ridiculous, but I'm pretty sure it does work. Apple wouldn't do this if it didn't work. Like, why would they spend money for something to fail? So yeah, they know that people would stay on iPhone, and it might even get some people to switch over from Android to iPhone just for that controller support, and maybe for the 120 FPS, which at the same time, I don't really think people will switch over to iPhone just for the 120 FPS. To me, the controller support is more the reason why people will switch. But yeah, having played Genshin on my phone, the experience wasn't really the best. Like, it works fine, it play decently well, but it's not a platform where I'll be like, oh boy, I can't wait to play Genshin on my phone. It's more like an emergency type of thing where I don't have a PlayStation 5 or my PC with me and I'm out on vacation, something like that, and I kind of want to do my dailies. Like, it's kind of like that, kind of like emergency type of thing. But also, not to mention that using both characters on a phone is actually really bad. Like, it's awful. It's definitely really hard to aim on the phone when you're using a bow character. So that's where controller support comes in and makes the game a little more playable on the phone. And yeah, not everybody has a PlayStation 5 or a PC they can play on, so they have no choice to play on the phone. So essentially, having controller support only be exclusive to iPhone, I'm pretty sure it definitely works. But to give you guys another example where it comes to Apple doing exclusivity deals with other mobile games, I remember Pokémon Go back in like 2016, 2017, I'm not exactly sure when they did this. They were developing an app for the smartwatches, the Apple smartwatch as well as the Android smartwatch, and with this app I think you're able to kind of like use it to hatch your eggs, and I'm not sure if you use it to catch Pokemon or not, but essentially it was kind of like an egg hatcher, and we're planning on releasing it on both Apple and Samsung smartwatches. And I remember going out and buying a Samsung smartwatch for that. I was like so excited for the app to come out. I couldn't get the Pokemon Go bracelet thing. I remember back then it was kind of like really hard to get, and it was kind of being scalped. I remember seeing it for like $100 and stuff like that. I was like, I'm not buying that bracelet for $100. Like, that's insane. So the next best thing was to get a smartwatch, and I ended up buying that smartwatch. That, and also I also really wanted the smartwatch. But the Pokemon Go app was definitely one of the reasons why I bought the smartwatch, but it wasn't the main reason. But yeah, regardless, I'm definitely looking forward to that app. But yeah, a few months after that, they dropped the Pokemon Go app on the Apple smartwatches, and they didn't drop it on Android. And I was like, oh, okay, like maybe they're doing it later because maybe they're having trouble with, you know, developing the app on the Android watches or whatever. So I was like, okay, I'll wait like a few more months. But then a year goes by and it still hasn't been out. I was like, okay, maybe, you know, they're still developing it. Like, I was kind of like huffing that copium and hopium. And then 2 years go by and I was like, okay, maybe they're not gonna actually do it. I'm not sure, but I was still wait a little bit, maybe they still might do it. And then 3 years go by, I'm like, all right, it's never coming out. And I'm like, oh my goodness.
So thanks for nothing. You're welcome.
I was kind of sad that they never dropped the app, and I was wondering why they didn't do it. And I was looking on the internet and stuff like that, seeing what people thought about it. And for the most part, people didn't really care about the app because it probably wasn't really that great. That, and also most people have iPhones and not Androids, and not a lot of people talked about it. But I did see some forums and threads here and there of people talking about it. And one of the answers that caught my eye was someone saying that Apple might have signed an exclusivity deal with Pokemon Go, where only Apple watches got the app for maybe a couple of years or permanently. And I was like, huh, like maybe that might be the case. And I was like kind of shocked of like, is that even possible for them to do something like that where they can only release it on a certain platform and not the other? And surely enough, I guess that's the case, because to this day there still is no Pokemon Go egg hatching app for the Samsung watches, or at least I don't think so anyway. So yeah, I most likely think that deal is permanent. Either that or maybe that exclusivity deal only lasted for 1 year, and then Niantic was planning on releasing the app on the Samsung watches, but then realized how badly the app did and nobody really used it. So like, you know what, let's scrap the idea, like it's not even released on Android. Like, I have no idea. Maybe that might be the case, or maybe the exclusivity deal was permanent. Yeah, like I'm still sad to this day. That definitely would have made my life a lot easier back then, but now they kind of have the whole adventure sync thing, I think, something like that, where it counts your steps even when you're not using the app. That right there is probably good enough for me, but even then I'm still kind of sad about it. But yeah, that was the first time I ever experienced an exclusivity deal. So yeah, personally, I think the same thing is happening with Genshin, where only iPhones get the good stuff, where nobody else gets the good stuff. Maybe about a year or two, and then after that they start releasing the quality of life updates to other platforms. But like I said before, it could be permanent, like we have no idea. But also another thing I want to mention is that people might say that, you know, developing the control support on Android might be a little more difficult than it is on Apple, and maybe that's why Android has no control support, because they're having trouble developing it. And as someone went to college for programming and have done coding and stuff like that and have made apps on Android, I'm pretty sure that's not the reason why. When it comes to developing mobile apps, it's a lot easier to program and make apps on Android than it is on Apple. At least that's what I heard. Personally, I've only developed apps on Android and not Apple, so I had no idea. But from my experience, developing apps on Android is relatively easy. So I'm pretty sure them having trouble developing controller support on Android is not the case. But even Apple and Android are using different operating systems. I don't think the difference between the two is really that vast. If they can develop control support on the iPhone, then I'm pretty sure they can do it on Android. And not only that, but I'm pretty sure they have relatively skilled programmers. So if they're having trouble developing control support on Android, then I kind of question their team. Like, I'm pretty sure adding control support for them is probably like a cakewalk. Like, it's definitely probably really easy. So if them having trouble developing control support on Android is most likely not the case. But also another reason why they might have only given those quality of life updates to iPhones only is maybe because iPhone had the biggest player base. So maybe they're prioritizing iPhones instead of other platforms because of that, and maybe it's not an exclusivity deal. Like, we have no idea at the end of the day. Like, this is all speculation. Personally, I think it's probably because of an exclusivity deal, but at the same time it could be them just wanting to focus on iPhones more, because that probably had the biggest player base. Because I guarantee you, a lot more people have iPhones than they do PCs and PS5 and Androids. So yeah, I'm pretty sure the player base for iPhones is huge. So yeah, maybe that's why, and non-exclusivity deal. But at the same time, I do believe it's probably because of the exclusivity deals. But yeah, personally, I'm not really a big fan of exclusivity deals, but at the same time, I understand why they do it. And the company is definitely beneficial for both parties, so it makes sense why they do it. Even though as a fan, I don't like it. Like, I understand why. But hopefully when it comes to Genshin's case, it's not permanent. Like, hopefully they do end up releasing those quality of life updates on other platforms in the future. But definitely let me know what you guys think about this topic. I know this topic is already talked about, and that's why I want to make this video, to kind of shed some light on what I think is happening behind the scenes when it comes to the controller support on Android, as well as the 120 FPS option for other platforms. So definitely let me know what you guys think about this, whether you guys agree or disagree. Or maybe you guys have your own theories on why iPhones have all the good stuff, whereas everybody else kind of has like the scraps in a way. But also another reason why I wanted to make this video was because I remember my whole situation with the Pokemon Go app and kind of having trouble trying to find an answer for that issue, and I really didn't want people to experience the same thing I had, like having trouble trying to find the answer to why there's no Android controller support, and well, the 120 FPS option for PC, stuff like that. But I'm not sure if anybody else made a video on this, but the more videos on this topic, the better, because we can draw more attention to this topic. Maybe MiHoYo will release those quality of life updates a little quicker. But anyway, that's kind of about this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully this video answers your questions. And definitely let me know what you guys think about this topic and why you guys think that Apple has only gotten those quality of life updates, whereas every other platform didn't get it yet. But yeah, I'm really curious what you guys think about this. But yeah, I'm pretty sure there's some things I forgot to talk about in this video. So if I forgot anything, I definitely let you guys know in the comment section below. But if you guys want to Genshin Impact videos like this, where we kind of do discussions or gameplay videos and stuff like that, definitely hit the like and subscribe button. I plan on doing more of these type of videos. But also, I upload Genshin Impact videos every single Saturday, so that's definitely time to check out my channel if you guys are interested. But yeah, anyways, kind of about it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later.